Okay, well, I think we can get started. This presentation should take about 45 to 60 minutes. All phone lines are going to be muted to avoid any background noise. If anyone has any questions during this presentation, please refer to the panel and type them in the question box, and we'll get them answered in the question and answer session, or try to get to them throughout the session. My name is Vladimir Torpov. I'm the Customer Success Manager with Network in the Acumatica practice. Joining me today is Frank Anaya, who is a professional engineer and certified general contractor in the state of Florida. He is the founder of Olympus Construction Management, a company specializing in the creation of high-end custom homes. In addition to his work with Olympus, Frank also founded Euler Plus, a software development company focused on the construction industry. The primary goal of Euler Plus is to create intellectual property that directly benefits Olympus by addressing industry challenges and delivering user-friendly solutions.
Thank you, Vladimir, for the presentation. Good afternoon, all. In today's webinar, we will be discussing the estimated challenges construction companies face on a daily basis. Then we want to showcase what makes Euler Estimating Suite unique. And finally, we will move to a live demo to highlight the system capabilities. So for many years, we lived under the impression that we were using cutting-edge technology to finalize bids. We were using Procore to send invitations to bid, Sage to manage estimates and assembly the estimates, and Excel spreadsheets to balance subcontractors, a file system to store the bids, and Word to prepare proposals. The truth of the matter is that these systems lack integration and communication within each other, and we work very inefficiently by using them. Most of these systems have been created by developers that do not understand the challenges of the construction industry. In addition, maintaining historical records was challenging, not to mention that we have a heavy lifting for data migration to accounting. So this being said, I'm going to explain you why Euler Estimating Suite is unique. First of all, it's being created by contractors that understand contractors' needs. It's a native solution for Acumatica, and we have created a centralized workflow within the Acumatica environment. By using Acumatica, we also have the ability to have an easy data migration to accounting. And while we start doing our estimates, all the historical information gets built automatically. And Acumatica is very powerful by allowing quick access to the data. So now let's understand a little bit about Euler Estimating Suite. This is what you can expect. You can create and manage estimates, send invitations to bid, collect and classify and store the bids once they are received. You can compare subcontractors side by side. You can close the bids and send proposals to one or many clients at the same time. So let's get on to a live demo. So within the Acumatica environment, you're going to have this Euler Estimating Suite. We have 6 main components. We have the estimates, the bid package, bid leveling, incoming bids, request for information, and proposals. But before getting to this key feature, let's start with the preference. Once we install Euler Estimating Suite, all this data came by default to the system. So there is no need for users to start developing all the information to fill out the preference. The preference comes field by default. User can add or remove project types, participation goals, project requirements, or project use as they want. And you can match your account group to your accounting system the way you want it, the way you want to do it. So now let's take a look to the divisions. As you can see, we follow the 48 divisions of the latest CSI code. And if we move to the phase codes, you will see that we also follow the codes of the CSI. This helps to keep consistency, once we're preparing the estimates. And to maintain that consistency, we have a data bank where you can find anything related to the CSI codes, like instance library. And if you need, and everything related to library will be displayed. You can just select it and add it to your phase codes. I want to show you that we have two levels of historical information tracking. We can track historical information based on phase codes, but we can also track historical information based on items. And we have the ability to keep both very tight. So we also have the ability to start doing a matching with our accounting system right in the preference. So once we start preparing our estimate, the matching already comes by default to the estimate, and this makes the process to export the data from estimating to accounting very seamlessly. So we also have the ability, if some codes are not available in the data bank or you want to add your own code, we got you covered too. You have the ability to create phase codes on the fly and assign the values you require. So let's move on to the staff. So here you can start building the staff that will be placed at in your estimate for specific project. Notice that we have this special field called years of experience. Basically, by defining the years of experience, we have found that it makes estimators' life easier. For instance, if it's a complex project, you want a project manager with the maximum amount of years of experience available. And if it's something very simple, you may want to go with a cheaper option of a project manager. You also have the ability to create the salaries, the burden, some allowances, but we will talk a little bit more of this when we get to the estimate. Then we have WBS codes. In the WBS codes, we can create as many WBS codes as we need using the table to the left, and we can create details for this WBS code using the table to the right. So this is the add-ons is the most important tab on this estimating preference. Why I say this? Because it's the way that we can mark up our estimates. And we can mark up the estimates in so many ways. For instance, we can do lump sum markups, or we can create some markups based using the subtotal level. It will give us a markup based on cost. And if we use a total level, we will do a markup based on revenue. We also have the ability to mark up materials or labor or equipment or any other kind of accounts, just by themselves. We also can get more specific and have some kind of tiered markups using the from and to fields. In addition to that, we can even target specific phase code range to mark up on an estimate. And of course, we can use combinations of all these markup levels to making the markup a very flexible tool within the system. So now let's take a look to the estimate. So the first thing I want to show you that this is a production environment. This is not a testing environment. So I have created one project as a test so we can play with it a little bit and show you the capabilities of the system. First of all, we have a summary page and the header of the estimate. In the header of the estimate, we can take a look to everything that is related to the actual cost of the estimate in a real time. All these values will be updated in real time every time we change anything in the estimate. We're gonna be tracking the estimate, how much is the staff, the add-ons, the total cost, what is the percentage that represent each of those for the total cost. We're also gonna be tracking the cost per square foot of building or for any other specific unit or measure you specify in the summary level. In addition, we can keep tracking of general condition, waste, tax, and bond amount. So let's take a look to the summary tab. First of all, we have specific information we can add to the summary to get details for the address of the project, who's the owner, the architect. Then we get to a more detailed information about the bid. So by keeping tracking of the project use and project type, we are basically targeting the historical, we're enabling to get historically correct information more accurate. So if the owner has a budget, we can establish it right here. We have a field for project duration, the project jobs type. This is the amount, the quantity that will be used to calculate this data on the header, giving you real-time information at any time. So we can also specify if we have a bid bond, bid day, last day for RFI, and project start date. This is very standard information in commercial projects. And we also have the ability to place an opening address and some important notes like the bid submission must be delivered in suite 203. So people in your team are always aware where you're taking your bid. So in addition to that, we can keep tracking of alternates, specifying which one are included or excluded from the estimate. We can break down the estimate using the word breakdown structure codes. We can assign participation goals and requirements for the estimate. So now that we have covered the summary tab, let's take a look to the estimate. Here's where we're gonna start assembling our estimate. And there are many ways to assemble the estimate. So let's start with the add phase code button. So we're gonna take these two first items we have right here, and we're gonna add it to the estimate. So as you can see, these items have been added. So you can add as many items as you want to start building your estimate. But we also have the ability to copy information from previous estimate. You can create templates and copy straight from your templates, and you don't waste time while doing the estimate. In this case, I'm gonna copy a couple of fields from this high school template I have here. And I'm gonna start with these two. These two values may be in this estimate already, so I'm gonna add it anyway, and they will be duplicated. As you can see, the items has been added as well. But what happens if there is a phase code not available on my current database? So that means that I will need to go to the estimate, to the preference, and add it. So that's why we create this button to make your life easy. So we're gonna go and we're gonna have access to the data bank, and right from here we can create any phase code and add it to the estimate on the fly. You can see it right here. And this create button, it will do exactly the same, but only for one single phase code at a time. So now I want to show you one of the most important tools we have in this stream, which is the line item detail. So first of all, we have a summary tab that is telling me what's going on in this line item for the estimate. And we have I want to show you right here that we have this project selected, which is the current project, and no bids have been received for it. So this is the first way we can start getting historical information in a matter of seconds. Let's start by removing this field right here. and the system will automatically bring every single bid we have received over the past for this specific phase code, making our life very easy. And with these unit rates provided, you can see that using the line item detail, we can start creating this right here. And if we place it under the items, we already have this information available to use. So I'm gonna make this example right here really quick. I'm gonna add this line item. As you can see, the detail has changed, but the estimate has not changed. So I'm gonna update the estimate and close. And the system's gonna ask me a question. Do you want to replace this quantity? Yes, I want. And my estimate is now updated with using the line item details. So as any other as you can see, we do have the ability as well to select from the current alternates defined on the summary level. We also can select the WES codes, and we can select vendors as well. So, but we're gonna come back to the vendors in a minute. Let's finish with this example. Like right here, you have the ability to add waste percentage, tax amount, tax percentage, and even bond percentage. And you can even assign specific line items to your team members so they can start working in specific phase codes by getting in contact with the vendors, by doing the bid levelings, etc. So now that we conclude this example, I want to show you, sometimes assembling an estimate is complicated. There are too many line items involved, but when you want to find something really quick, you just need to go here and find windows. The system will automatically filter, and this will give you the ability to find anything in a matter of seconds. So let's take a look to this vendor field that we were talking about before. So first of all, we have all records here where we can see our entire list of vendors. But for this specific case, we already have a bid level. We have received 4 prices, and we have our internal price as well. In this case, we have decided to go with this contractor, which was the most responsive contractor for this bid. So we're gonna select this contractor. We're gonna hit OK. The system will update the estimate, but if for some reason we want to bond this contractor because we don't feel comfortable, we can say, okay, we're gonna apply 2% bond right here. The bond gets calculated automatically. But sometimes the contractor will tell you, my bond is $7,000. Well, you can do that as well too. And the system will calculate the percentage backwards. So this being said, I'm going to show you a couple of features more with these filters. Using Acumatica, creating all kinds of filters is very simple. You have the ability here with this button, but just in case you want to be more specific, some of these filters come by default. For instance, this gives me the list of all the alternates different to base bid already. This one will give me only the base bid items. The empty line items, this is very critical because sometimes you have finalized your estimate, but maybe a line that has no value and you want to find it really quick. This filter will give you that ability. Also, if you want to take a look to the vendors that you have applied a bond, you can use this filter too. So maybe if you want to tie your number and get the risk, you may remove just this guy bond and and tie a little bit your estimate. So you also have a list of vendor covers. Will display all the line items that has a vendor. And finally, this is one of my favorites, the non-complete. So every time that I finish a line item, I like to say I don't want to go back to this line item. So I start marking, and saying this is complete, and then I want to save. And as you can see, all these line items have been removed from this list. This is telling me exactly what I have outstanding to close this bid. I love this feature, by the way. So let's move right now to the staff tab. Basically, here we assemble the staff that is going to be part of this project. So we can tell, I'm going to make a quick example right here. this person is going to be 36 months on a project on a 5 days per week. This is his yearly rate, 20% burden. It may be this guy may need $3,000 in allowance, in car, maybe $1,000 in fuel, and not all allowance will apply. But this is something really cool, okay? In long duration projects, you want to make sure you get covered for everything. And after 1 year of work, you need to do a review to your employee, and this guy is going to ask you for a raise. So this is how we have accountability for that too. So I'm going to apply 5% raise increase, and we're going to be raising these guys in 36 months twice, 2 times in 3 years. So by having this feature right here, we are even accounting and projection for what's going to happen in the future. And then some relevant data you want to get, the total project per month, the total year rate, and the total project cost overall. As you can see, before we move to the add-ons, everything is being updated automatically as we go. Every time we make changes, all these tables start updating automatically, giving you real-time data. Now let's take a look to the add-ons. So the add-ons is, as we were discussing, this is one of the best tools on the system and allow us to make anything we want. So let's take a look for GL insurance. I'm gonna place 10%, and the system is automatically calculating at a limit of, this is a tier, as I don't know if you can see, applying 10% from 0 to 100, and then from 100 to whatever the number being ending, I'm applying only 1%. So I'm gonna apply 2% right here. I want you to notice, thank you Safari, that everything start updating based on the total project cost. We also can mark up materials, but in this case, as you can see, we're only marking up the materials for the finished section only at a 10%. We are applying lump sum markups, and we can do so many other things with this markup that is only limited to the user's capabilities. So finally, bid winner. What is the bid winner? Very simple. This table is disabled by default. It will only get enabled once the status of the project is submitted. And this is basically to keep tracking while we're in a public bid, to keep tracking of everybody that is placing, that is submitting an offer, having a base bid, add alternates, or deduct alternates. And this will give us a total bid, so we can be checking how we're placing on the bid. But it is not its only functionality. By keeping tracking of this data over the time, we're gonna start getting, with some reports we have designed, data to tell us how are we performing based on specific product use and types against other contractors. When are we losing and where are we missing? What is the markups we're applying when we're losing, and how are we marking up the project if we're winning? And find that sweet spot. This tool will help us do that, very easy. So now that we have covered this information, let me take you right now to the side panels. So basically, the side panels will give you access to every single place on the system. The bid documents side panel will give you access to the drawings or everything that you have attached to this estimate really quick. Then we're gonna have the vendor screen, will give you access, really quick access to the vendor to update their contacts, email, anything, or create a vendor in the fly. We also gonna have access to historical information that we're gonna keep tracking based on the project use and type. We can start doing filter. And we start getting data. We can filter by phase code, by types, and all this data will start populating automatically, so we can make analysis of this data. We can also specify range dates. The bid leveling. As I showed you before, this is the comparison we did for the Windows work. Basically, this is everything. This is the 4 bidders, our internal budget. In our internal budget, we have like a mini estimate, so we can play around and play some numbers without having to go to the estimate. Having our internal budget, and then we're gonna compare the bids. We have many options. We can add many line items to compare them side by side. So now we're here, I'm gonna show you something really quick. I would say, let me go here. So you can appreciate what we're talking about. So this is a comparison we made for metal fabrications for specific project. I think this is the one. Okay, so we have 4 bidders, multiple line items. Some of this bidder did not include some of the line items. So we get other bidders information, we place it, we put a placeholder, we balance the bid, and that way we made sure we were comparing apples to apples. We also have the ability to create cost analysis. This is a little more in-depth functionality. I think we're gonna cover in another session. So right now, the bid package. So let's take a look to the bid package. I'm gonna actually get out of the estimating to show this functionality, but before we do that, I want to show you the incoming bids and how it looks like. This is an inbox where we collect all the data for incoming bids. Basically, everything that is in green has been classified and assigned to the right project, and everything that is in white is pending to classify. Let's go to this really quick. As you can see, on the fly, without leaving this screen, we are seeing information about bids that have been received. We're seeing the attachment. We can even take a look to the email that was previously sent to us, how it's being classified, is it start getting the right phase code, and we can even classify information without leaving the screen. Then we have the RFIs. During pre-construction, you may want to send some RFIs to architects, and you want to have the ability just to create, quick RFIs on the fly and send these RFIs, in bulks if you want. And then finally, as I showed you before, sometimes a little bit tricky taking a look to this full estimate right here. So that's why we have, this report option that gives you a cleanest view about what's going on in the estimate. So in addition to that, we have so many other reports. We can do comparison reports to compare to different estimates. We can export the cost budget to send information to accounting. We can run estimating analytics, print proposals or change orders, print requests for information, and we have another this same report, but extended, giving you a little bit more of data. So now that we have covered this, let's take a look to the bid package. Okay. So in the bid package, let's start with this. This is a good example. So basically, this is very simple. You're gonna link the estimate that you're gonna send the bid package for, and then you're gonna provide to your subcontractors with specific information. What is the bid date, the last day for RFI? If there is a walkthrough, you can specify this day too, and you want to provide, a link to give them access to the bid documents. In this case, we use Autodesk Builds, and we attach just this hyperlink and makes everybody's lives very easy. In addition to that, we're gonna put some contacts that the bidders can contact, can call or email if they have any kind of question or send an RFI. using this text box on the right, we can create a nice introduction email for the invitations to bid. And before we send an invitation to bid, we can actually take a look to what's going on with this invitation to bid. As you can see, this is what the subcontractor will receive. And anytime you send an invitation to bid, they will here have all the access on all the information they need to bid the project. So now let's take a look. Oh, by the way, before we leave, we can actually create addendums here and send addendums as well. But before we start building the bid management, let's take a look to this. This is how we assemble the bid management and the bid list. Basically, we have the ability. This is expected. This bid is being closed, so it doesn't let me add anything else. So let's actually take a look to another. This one is open. Okay, and by the way, we had many addendums on this one. Okay, so using this button right here, you're gonna have the ability to select from your existing estimate the phase codes you want bidders to price. And once you add those phase codes, you're gonna start adding contacts to this actual phase codes. It was very tricky when we were using other systems to add contacts. New people in the organization were lost because they didn't know the contractors that applied to a specific trade. So we came up with some workaround to do that. Very intelligent, by the way. So basically, first of all, we have the ability to find any contractor. Just looking by the names, we can find anyone in a matter of seconds. But also, we can have a list of all the contractors we have previously invited to bid this specific phase code. Not only that, sometimes you invite 10 guys and only 5 of them, reply or give you actually a bid. And then we have this on this other bottom that will give you the list of all these guys that always give you a price, making your life easy when you're planning to send an invitation to bid. So everything that is populated in this table to the right will be reflected in the table to the left. The number of bidders, the amount that have been bidden, the bids we have received, and using this table, you can classify, what's going on. If you made a phone call, you have a couple of options here. You can tell, if the bid has been received or not. This information actually gets updated by default once the bids are received as well. And this on the top is an overall result of whatever is happening at a bid level. And then some notification logs saying, everything we have done during the bidding process. So we already covered the bid package, bid leveling, incoming bids, request for information, and let's take a look to the proposals. So we just, by the way, we just did we just sent this Friday this morning. It was an offer for a pool, and using this field, you can send your price to one customer or to as many customers you want, and this is very powerful. You can create an introduction. You can describe the scope of work that you're going to be providing. You can add alternates. Define the payment terms, the terms and conditions. Everything can be defined right here. And what I love about Acumatica is that it gives us access, about anything we want. So this is a preview of the proposal we sent to this fellow, and actually we review this before we sent it. And using this information on the top, we send information up. So I think this will cover the entire webinar, guys. The system has many other capabilities, many inquiries that you can benefit of, print forms, reports, everything that you may need to complete and close a bid in very efficiently and within time. So that would be all from my side. Let me handle it right now to Vladimir.
Thank you, Frank. That was actually very informative. Yeah, just to give a quick idea of what Network is. We are a gold certified Acumatica partner. And next slide. If there are any questions, feel free to post them in the question box right now. Frank and I will get them answered, get them addressed. Okay. Maybe there won't be any questions. Okay, Frank, next slide. Just a quick overview of what Network actually is. Network's purpose is to help small and medium-sized businesses compete in today's global digital economy and serve as a technology advisor for our customers. Network has over 25 years of experience in the computer software industry and is recognized as an industry leader in the ERP space. Although we're talking about Acumatica today, it is our role to help clients understand all the technology tools in the market and determine what are the best options for your organization. From this slide, you can see that Network is recognized as a gold Acumatica partner, the highest tier available. Network was recognized as the #1 top overall partner for the Sage software and a 5-star partner for Oracle NetSuite. When eventually any software solution, it is important that you choose a team with a proven track record for success. Network has helped over 6,000 clients transform their company to better compete in the digital age. For future next-gen ERP and other educational sessions, please visit our website under network.com/webinars. There's also an extended library of content on our website to assist in your educational and selection process. Of course, if you'd like to speak to someone, please contact us directly via email or phone. And current clients, feel free to contact your account manager. And that'll be it for the webinar. Thank you all for attending. Thank you, Frank. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me or call me. And I wish you all a fantastic rest of your day. Awesome. Frank, you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. I guess, I don't know, how do we just close this out and the webinar ends? That was very informative. So you came up with you created that software, or that goes built that?
Yes, I did. We did. Team did.
That was incredible.
Thank you.
Really awesome to, again, I've never hosted. I've watched some other webinars, but it's, yeah, what you're able to create is really impressive. So I hope you're proud of yourself.
Thank you, Byron. We are.
Good, good. I think going